the Hustle and Giggle podcast.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Hustle and Giggle podcast. Firstly, a huge thank you from all of us for the interaction, the messages and listening to episode 1. It's been completely overwhelming and we're delighted with the interaction that we've had from you. Thank you. Now let's get into the good stuff this episode. It's like that second date. We're a little bolder, a little more unfiltered and not really holding back. So let's go. So although this is only episode 2, we thought that you might like to hear how we have felt and how we've pushed ourselves out of our comfort zone when it comes to recording a podcast. So let's share our journey with you so far. What do you think, Leslie?
Well, again, must say huge thank you for everyone for their feedback and yeah, just hearing what people think of what we've been talking about. But yeah, we've been on a journey, haven't we? It's definitely out of our comfort zone. We're very good at our WhatsApps at whatever time, day or night, that we send each other WhatsApps to. There's no filters. So we're going to try and bring this definitely out a bit more to who we are. I think the first one was very nerve-wracking. But even so, we're still a little bit nervous. So I'm sure as we go on, we'll relax a bit more.
Yeah, brilliant. I have to say, from my perspective, I thought it was going to be easier than it was, and I found the last one really scary. And I personally feel that I can hear that actually in my voice in the last one. But it's been brilliant, and I've absolutely loved doing it, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a couple of years. So to come on board and eventually have our podcast live feels really good, and really proud and really quite positive about it, really. What about you, Karma?
Yeah, I echo both of you. It's been a journey, hasn't it? Like Leslie said. So the impulsive side of me has loved it. It's been great just jumping in and getting completely overexcited about it. But the overthinker in me and the overthinker in me has been overthinking, obviously. And it's quite strange to put yourself in a platform where you're quite visible, even if it's just, audio, but you're quite visible and you're out there, which, that doesn't come natural to me. So I'm so far out of my growth zone. But I'm loving doing the journey with you both. So thank you.
Oh, it's been great, isn't it? I love the fact that in the last week, I've played it in the car. Every time I've got in the car, I've played it every time. And actually, we look on the Spotify results to see how many people have listened to it. And I do wonder how many of those have been me. But seriously, it's been brilliant. Sure it's been brilliant. It's been really good. We've loved it. And what about, we've definitely increased our own listening to podcasts, haven't we? And we've upped our own, I guess, research. So I've always listened to podcasts and I love them. And we thought it'd be good today just to share a couple of podcasts that we like listening to with you so that you can go off and not only listen to ours, but listen to others as well. What about you, Karma? What have you been listening to?
Yeah, see, I said this to you both earlier, but I've just brain farted because I can't remember what it's called. Is it Begin Again by Davina McCall?
I can't.
Does that sound like what I said earlier?
You remember the Davina McCall?
I was just about to say, I know it's Davina McCall, so let's hope that if you search on Davina McCall.
Yeah, Davina McCall, if you're listening. I'm really sorry if I've just said it wrong. But I think it's Begin Again by Davina McCall, and that's really interesting because I have been walking quite a lot. So I've been listening to her podcast. I think they're like 45 minutes, and she's always got really interesting guests on. And there's always something to relate to and kind of come away and smile and just feel better about yourself about. So, yeah, that's my go-to at the moment.
I've sort of picked up on the Loose Women one because they come out the day after us, actually.
Oh, did they?
So that was quite interesting. So, yeah, I've listened to a couple of them. I've never before this listened to a podcast in my life. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Sod the music now. It's more podcasting. I also listen to Piers Morgan. I know he's very controversial of what he says and stuff, but he's uncensored. And he's been talking a lot about the Trump issues at the moment. So we're not going to get political, I know that. But it's just interesting to listen to and get a couple of ideas about what's going on in the world.
That's interesting. My kind of podcast journey definitely started with Stephen Bartlett from the Diary of a CEO. I remember listening to his podcasts, I don't know, probably years ago now, and really liked them. And he had some amazing guests on. And I have to confess, I haven't really listened to one recently, but he's really good. The one that it's interesting, the one that I don't like, but I end up keep listening to it is Danny Dyer and his daughter, only because we all like to swear, but his language is atrocious in it. But he's quite an interesting character. But yeah, absolutely love listening to podcasts, and but a really nice mixture of fun ones, business ones, which has been great, and ours, of course. So what have we all been up to since the last podcast then? What about you, Carmen? What have you been up to?
More walking. So by the time I get back home today, I will have done, just doing my maths really quickly, I'll have done about 28 miles in the last 7 days, which is pretty fun. And work-wise, it's one-to-one season at work, which, it's my favourite. We do one-to-ones twice a year, and my April ones are my absolute favourite, just finding out how the team are, what goals, look at pay reviews when we can. I'm in my element. It's a lot of work that goes into it, but I love one-to-ones. I think that's it. It's always really boring, isn't it? I've got nothing exciting to bring. Yeah, I've got shorter legs. I'm now like 5'1", I think. That's it. I've literally got nothing else again.
You kind of remind me now of a Forrest Gump. Do you remember in the film?
not just be running,
not looking. But in the film he just runs and he doesn't stop. I imagine you going out one day, starting walking, and just never coming back. Please do. By the way,
I have worked out. I'm going to walk to my father-in-law's care home, which is 10 miles away, and meet my husband there. So I have worked out, to do a 10-mile walk one day. Forrest Gump, cheers for that. I walk quick as well. I
love it. What about you, Leslie? Well, you've been busy, actually.
I have been busy. So I've had 2 weekends away since we've caught up. So we went to a little camping holiday in a caravan, which was lovely. Weather was beautiful. Walked on the Jurassic Coast line, which was gorgeous. So if anyone ever wants to do that, it is beautiful views. And then last weekend we were in Edinburgh. And I guess a really good point from our trip to Edinburgh specifically, we did quite a few tours. So we went underneath the Edinburgh vaults and things like that. And when we came out, a good idea from my Anthony was to have 3 points that we each remember. And it's so interesting of what different people pick up. And we all had something different. And then we went, because we went on a bus tour as well, the hop-on, hop bus, which was really great. And I learnt something that I might get this wrong now because the kids will kill me if I do, but the Union Jack is made up of 3 flags, which I didn't know. So you've got... Now I'm going to get it wrong.
I feel like we're being educated.
So it's the English one, the Irish one, and the Scottish one make up the Union Jack. I've got a picture on my phone. But it's so clever, and I never knew that.
I don't know.
So I'm sure a lot of people probably know that, and I'm just so uneducated. Well, there you go. So have a look at it. It's great. It's good to see how it's made together.
Brilliant.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want to be educated, you need to listen to the Hustle and Giggle podcast.
Just something I brought out of it.
That's hilarious.
I haven't got it right. I'm sure I have.
Brilliant. I'm trying to think what I've been up to. So work is manic, which is really positive, which is great, but it's really, really busy at the moment, really busy. But I obviously never complain when I'm busy, but it's great fun, so that's good. And then just doing bits in the house, and you know what happens as soon as the sun comes out, you then have a garden to look after. So doing bits in the garden, and just generally pottering around and catching up with stuff because the weeks are so busy. So the weekends have been a bit of chilled and a bit of getting stuff done in the house, really, which is nice. So, all good.
Excellent.
Here we go. Anyway, let's have a conversation about this. So a recent article shared indicates that couples who share household chores have happier relationships. Do we have anything to say about that?
Yeah.
Carmen?
No. I don't know without getting myself in trouble. So what does it say? They stay together or whatever?
Apparently,
happier.
when
They're happier.
couples share household chores, they're happier. So I thought it would be really interesting, first of all, to discuss that quote, but also maybe let's throw in a little bit about household chores and how it works in all of our houses.
Okay, so in mine, I do the majority of the housework. But to be fair, I'm the one that's bothered by mess the most. I like things very neat and tidy. Abe will do the majority of the cooking in the evening, though, so I kind of think that balances out. And he'll mow the lawn, which involves picking up the dog poo before, and I have no desire to do that, even though it's my dog. So yeah, I feel like we have a fair split. Sometimes I think it's inevitable that you can feel a bit resentful that you're the one that sees the mess to do it, and I know from my children and my husband that I can just ask for help sometimes, but sometimes you don't want to ask for help. You just want to do it. But I might have just caused myself a divorce by being so vocal about this. I think we're going to move on to Leslie now.
Well, the question is, why do we have to ask? They should do them themselves. I won't lie, I'm really lucky. So when the house gets untidy, there's certain jobs that I do, like you. We do certain things between us. But on a Saturday morning, if we're home, we tend to take the first sort of 3 hours and we blitz the house together. And I won't lie, it really does help. It's so good. I mean, don't picture me and Kev with 2 toilet roll, scrubbing the toilet together, because that doesn't happen. It's more of a case of he's mopping the floors and I'm cleaning the toilet, which is right next to it, and the music's playing. And actually, we do it really, really well. The issues are when one of us have got to work or we're away, which has been the last couple of weekends. So the house has got a bit messy. So I'm hoping he's not working this Saturday so that, we can get cleaning.
I was thinking back to episode 1 and your story about you and Kev swapping outfits, and I just have this vision now of Kev in an apron with a duster walking around the house. Sorry,
He's
Kev.
gonna love that.
Sorry, Kev, but that's it now.
No, he doesn't.
Our house is a bit like Karma's house, so I take the lead on 99% of the housework. Richard does lots of cooking. Richard always loads the dishwasher because I'm a typical female and I apparently don't load it in the correct way to maximise the amount of stuff that needs to go into it. But occasionally I might do it. When he's out, I might stick a little dishwasher load in.
What
You'll just go in and rearrange it when you put it all in really neatly.
No, not that brave.
What is it with these men with dishwashers, though? I don't do dishwasher. I mean, what do they do different to what we do? I mean, seriously?
I don't know. But if we didn't have a dishwasher, interestingly, I'm not sure that Richard would do the dishes. Would Kev do the dishes?
Oh, no.
It's interesting, isn't
he
it?
would go
It's true,
and make
about a
sure we
dishwasher.
have a dishwasher. Yeah,
Interesting.
100%. Yeah, he doesn't do that.
But I'm a bit like Karma in that mentally, I like to have a tidy house, and particularly when it's busy and there's lots going on, I like an element of organisation and tidiness, and I suppose that's probably why I take the lead more than anyone else, because that's me and I want that, and that doesn't necessarily ring through in all of our house. But we have got 2 amazing things in the house which help. We've got a robotic lawnmower and we've now got a robotic vacuum cleaner, which I know you have. Haven't you?
I've got to ask you, what's yours called?
The vacuum cleaner sorry, I've just forgotten what it's called.
Oh no, it's the brain fart is contagious.
So it's called Ernest.
Ernest.
It's called Ernest after a previous person that used to clean our house who was called Ernest. Honestly, and the robotic lawnmower is called, I can't say, just in case they listen to it, somebody who used to cut our grass. But actually, I have to say, they are both, particularly the lawnmower, it's amazing. It saves so much time. So that's been really good in our house and helped with sharing the load.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
I don't think I can say what my Hoover is called. Am I allowed to swear on air?
Go for it.
Okay,
It's our
so
podcast.
he's Dickhead Dave because he gets stuck under everything, and every time he does, I'm like, "You are such a dickhead." So he's literally in my app as Dickhead Dave.
Oh, golly.
The poor Dave's out there.
I know. Sorry, any Daves. Yeah.
Poor old Dave.
Just right, it was a D. That was all. It was the first D I could think of.
Oh, that's so funny. Right, moving
Love
swiftly.
it.
Moving swiftly on.
Let's go.
Sorry, Dave. Moving swiftly on there. So, what things or facts do you think it would be good to share to our listeners about each other that they might not know? I'm going to share one from me, actually. So one from me that I always share, and anybody that knows me listening to this will be going, oh, here she goes again, because it's my go-to, is that I have 3 kidneys. And this was discovered when I was 12, and I had multiple kidney infections and went in for an exploratory in hospital. And they found I've got 3 kidneys. So on my right-hand side, I have got 2 that are joined together by a tube. And on my left-hand side, I have 1. So that's it. My claim to fame is that I have 3 kidneys.
I think that's amazing.
So do
Honestly,
I.
every time you say it, I just think that's brilliant.
It's good, isn't it?
That is a really cool fact.
I know. I did actually say, could I donate it? Because I thought that would be quite nice to do.
Yeah.
But the 2 that are joined together by a tube, they're slightly smaller than a normal kidney. So although I could, potentially, it might not work if I was to donate it to someone else, one of them. So, yeah, interesting.
Wow.
What about you, Leslie? Come on then, share your interesting facts with the listeners.
I don't know. Am I able to share without getting in trouble? Okay, so I think the main one is, I guess an interesting fact is when I was 15, I taught myself to speak Spanish. So I've learned how to speak Spanish over the years, and I tend only to use it now when we go on holiday.
To Spain?
To more Mexico. It's more the Mexico side. So it's like the South America sort of Mexico side rather than the Spanish side. There's 2 different sides to the Spanish language. I taught myself Spanish. So I don't use it as much as I should and want to. I do use it the odd times. So that was one fact, I guess, that I can share. And then I guess I did think about this question and thought, okay, how much am I going to share and how much should I share for someone to have an opinion on me? So back a long time ago as well, when I was 17, one of my first jobs was a traffic warden. So I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. I know. I didn't do it for very long, I promise you. It was only for 6 months to cover the bills and whatever else.
I can't believe that. I can't believe
I was a traffic warden.
Good for you for doing it, but
it was
I
a
would
long
have
time ago.
If someone would have asked me, I would have never
No.
said you were a traffic warden.
That's quite scary, isn't it? And I mean, back then, I don't know what it's like now, you see. I don't know if they have to get, because the biggest question that everyone used to ask me is, did I have to get tickets to obviously get paid and get up the ladder or whatever? But it actually, genuinely, I promise you, it didn't matter if you had 1 ticket, 0 tickets, or 100. I did do quite a few one particular day because it was at a football match. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you how many it was because it's not very nice.
Was it in the Aylesbury area?
No. I was in London.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no,
Right.
it's even scarier because I was in King's Cross.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Jeez.
and then did football matches at Arsenal and things like that.
Oh,
so
golly.
probably something I would never go into again.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm a nice person, really.
I love how we're learning stuff on this podcast. Right,
Yeah.
Karma, beat
Go
that.
for it. Get
I
me
can't
off.
follow Leslie's, can I? I've literally, what have I got? Oh, fun facts. There aren't really any fun facts. I've got a letter from the late Queen for winning a for my birthday card for her. I think it was her 60th, or it might have been 60th, whatever it was, anniversary of coronation. And I won out of my class, so I got to keep the letter. That's packed away somewhere. What else? We were talking
That's
about
so
this over lunch, and
cute.
even though I'm like verbal diarrhea, I have to be really careful with some of the stuff that I say. But I used to run an online business selling certain items that we've all discussed for a little while before, actually, whilst the kids were very young. But we can't really divulge about that. I really, honestly...
We might one day.
Maybe. On the unfiltered, like the
Yeah,
uncensored, after 9
uncensored,
o'clock
after
type
9
thing. Yeah,
PM.
but definitely not on a... What does this go out on a Tuesday morning? No. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What about you?
Well, I
Well,
can't
you've
really.
done
I
your
can't really.
kidneys any more than
well,
that.
after my kidneys, I'm like, I can't beat you two. Let's be honest.
I think yours is more interesting though. Yeah.
Right, let's move on to
Isn't it?
business then. So actually, because we're business owners as well as mums, I thought it would be really nice today to talk about maybe a lesson that we've learnt whilst running our businesses, and probably learnt in a hard way. So something that of a more serious subject that looking back not necessarily regret it, but we would change it or we wouldn't do it again. I don't mind starting this one. And I kind of think when I started my business 6 years ago, I undervalued myself and undervalued the skill, and probably didn't necessarily pitch my commercials in the right way, which is quite hard when you then work with a client on an ongoing basis for a long time, because when you do recognise that your commercials were lower than they should be, it's then hard for those people to catch up. So that was probably the biggest lesson for me. And an interesting one, and probably one that I would say to people: make sure you value your worth in business and the skills and the contributions that you add to a business, because they are valuable, and never undermine that. It's a good lesson for me.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely, because even all the things that we have to do, I mean, sometimes people don't see the background of it. I mean, we've got licenses to pay for, and courses to go on. We've got to do exams to keep ourselves up. And you're absolutely right. So I hope you're much better at doing that now.
Do you know
you're
what?
Definitely worth a lot.
It's really interesting because someone said to me the other day, I sent them a proposal, and someone actually said to me, your costs are really reasonable. And I still think that there is an element of being able to support businesses that are in the same position as us, because they want to be able to afford services like the ones that we offer. So I am definitely not at the top end of my business rates, and I do that for a reason, because I want to be able to help small businesses to work their brands and get their name out there. And I think that's a really important thing, and that's one of my USPs and one of my kind of values, really. So yeah, I stick by that. But that, definitely a lesson for me. So what about you? What about you, Karma?
I loved that. I loved hearing that. I love the kind of honesty in what you just said. And your value is amazing. So, yeah, we'll never let you undervalue yourself ever again.
Definitely not.
Thank you.
So the biggest takeaway for me, we've been going for 27 years, so there's quite a few takeaways. But I think the biggest takeaway for me is that those that shout the loudest about how amazing they are is not often the case, and it's often the opposite. I'm not the most confident person. So to me, if somebody says they're amazing at something, whether it's someone we're taking on in an interview or a supplier or a contractor, to me, if someone says they're brilliant at something, why would you lie about it? Why would you say you were if you weren't? I'm very honest. I'd like to kind of say things how they are. So I could take things at face value, and unfortunately kind of learnt out the hard way that those that say they're brilliant are usually far from it. The ones who actually have substance are the ones that are a little bit more humble and just a little bit, they don't big themselves up so much. So, that's something I've learned the really hard way. And it always makes me really aware now. I feel emotional talking about that because it has been a bit of a journey for me. But, that's probably mine.
Oh,
sorry. Goodness sake.
That's good.
I would give you a hug. It's a bit difficult at the
We'll knock
moment.
over the mics over. Yeah.
Bless you. We're giving back to hugs next to you. My take on is really learning how to say no. I'm a really sucker for that. I'm more than happy to help so many, like yourself, people that don't understand what we do, and just be there and say, yeah, of course I'll do that. Of course I do that. And actually there has been times, more so recently, where I've just banged my head against a brick wall because I just am so full of so many different things that I need to learn how to say no. I still am not there, but I think I'm much better than I was where I took myself off the other week. I think I mentioned it before. I just had to say, nope, do you know what? I need to go home, clear my head, run, swim, do whatever we're doing, and just take myself out. So, I really need... That's a big lesson for me, to keep saying yes, because I'm more than happy to help everyone. And, a lot of the time it's for free as well. So... I don't always think, but it's not going to pay the bills, is it?
No.
But it's very hard to not say yes when someone's just asking me for a favour, but that favour tends to go into a bigger thing. So, I'm still learning, but between us.
Need
I
to be
think we
more
give-
Amanda. Know your value.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah.
I think that's one of the hardest things in running a business, actually, because particularly weighing up your pipeline with the current work you're doing versus work that's coming in, nobody knows when that's going to change. So I agree with you. I think that's a really hard decision to make when a client says to you, have you got capacity? And actually, you have got capacity, but that will mean you work evenings and weekends to get that piece of work done for that client.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the big teams around you. So I think I agree totally with what you're saying. It's really a really interesting point, and a point that people who have never run a business actually probably won't think about. So
No,
thank you.
you're right. Oh.
So
Pick it back up. It sounds like
lighten the load,
we got a bit emotional there, didn't we? We love our businesses so much, as well as, doing things like this. So we are really passionate about business, and I think that's why we've all clicked together.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is.
I agree, and we're all completely three different people, which
Totally.
is amazing. Really, that we have such a fantastic relationship. So
Yeah.
So when this podcast goes out, Easter will be a couple of days away. So what are we all up to for Easter? What are you up to, Leslie?
Do you know, I have nothing planned. Kev's birthday is the following weekend, and then we're having a little break. So nothing planned, like you say, the garden, hopefully the weather's back and being nice, so the garden needs tidying up. Thankfully, I don't need a robot lawnmower because we don't have any grass. But hey-ho, that might change one day, you never know. But I don't know, actually, if I'm honest. I'm just going to chill, do some studying. Yeah, I've got an exam in May, so studying's definitely on my agenda. So hopefully chilling,
Nice.
calming.
Nice.
Brilliant.
I think
fingers.
dare I say it, I think it's about to change. We've got family coming over for Easter, and we said, let's do a barbecue. And then I looked at the app yesterday, and that barbecue might be quite wet. so
Oh, that's not good.
but hey, we can do something else. But like you, there's a little bit of chilling. There's a little bit of, we're going to a black tie event actually on the Saturday night, a charity event that Richard's involved with, and then family over for
Nice.
maybe a barbecue. We used to do Easter egg hunts when Jack was.
I know. Do you remember those days?
yes.
We're all old now. Look, we've got all kids that are older. We don't do them anymore.
I know, but I was thinking about that the other day. I shouldn't say it on here because they might listen, but I was thinking it'd be really nice to do something like that again. We used to hand out to the children all their little Easter baskets, and they used to run around the garden picking up eggs, and it was lovely. It was really good. But yeah. What about you, Karma? What are you up to?
So I gave up chocolate for Lent. I'm not religious. I just am a sadist and wanted to test my willpower a bit. So I'm going to terrorise some chocolate on the 20th of April because I'm missing it so much. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not doing it again. Definitely not going to do this again. So that's it. The kids are both home. My daughter turns 22. Yeah, yes. Hold on a moment. Let me just do the maths. Yep, she's 22. Holly, you're 22. So we'll go and celebrate her birthday. And by the time this comes out on air, I'll have been to watch my little sister run the London Marathon.
Way.
She's running it in memory of my nan who passed away from dementia last year. So yeah, we're going to go up and meet my brother-in-law and my niece and nephew and just kind of try and see her. I mean, I've never done this before, so I don't know. Wait, if you see him at all,
I've got some
can you help?
I've got some advice.
Brilliant.
So, Richard's cousin runs the marathon all the time, and actually what you need to do is find her number download the app, and then you can follow her on the app, and therefore you'll know, and she will have an idea as well of which points she'll be. So the best place that we've always found is East London rather than going into central London, because it's just chocker. But East London's slightly less crowds, but definitely follow her on the app.
Oh, brilliant.
It's really good.
It's a bit of stalking, perfect.
It's such a fantastic day.
Oh, I
It's
can't
such a
wait.
brilliant
I'm so
day.
excited. She's been really poorly as well, so she's not been able to sort of keep up with the training. So I know she's really nervous about it, but I figure even if you just walk some of it, I mean, listen to me. The furthest I've done is 13 miles. I can't imagine doing a marathon. But yeah, no, that was enough.
That was walking.
Yeah, can only walk it. I'll join you. Yeah, hey, Laura, I'll join you in a walk. Yeah.
Brilliant. Hey, before we close, you mentioned chocolate, and I have to say, who's tried Dubai chocolate?
Well, obviously not me.
Everybody's been talking about it. Where'd you get it
I
from?
tried some. So I tried some the other day. I went to pay for some petrol, and I was like, having worked in retail marketing and understand the whole point of sale and how people buy stuff on impulse, I was that person. So there was basically a pile of them on the counter. So I brought it. It was ridiculously overpriced. I brought it. and it was a bit of an anticlimax.
Oh,
Was
no.
it?
Yeah, it was a bit.
What is it? Dark chocolate? Milk
So this
chocolate?
is milk
what?
chocolate, but it had like a crunchy kind of green filling,
okay.
which probably cost maybe 10 pence to produce, and I paid a lot more than 10
Wow.
pence. But it's everywhere, isn't it?
Oh, everybody's talking about it, but I
Yeah.
didn't know where you got it from, so...
Yeah. But,
Oh, okay, I'll look out for it.
Interesting.
Yeah, look out for it on Sunday.
Yeah.
A week on Sunday.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
Brilliant.
So that's a wrap. This is
Wow.
it. The end of episode 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
We've done 2 episodes now. So remember, you can follow us on Instagram, Hustle and Giggle 2025, and you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube. And thanks for listening. Thanks to Bucks Radio. And remember to balance the hustle with a giggle. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
The Hustle and Giggle Podcast.